Ladies, gentlemen, pronouns, lend me your ears. Crazy Kid back for another react. We got ourselves an interesting one here. This is a three-part song story that Marty Robbins wrote back in the early part of his career in 1959, and so on, and just kept adding to the story. The first song is El Paso, a story about two lovers who she was working at a club, dancing and entertaining guests, and this cowboy came in who really was infatuated with her, and she with him, and some bad stuff happened, and he had to go on a run. His love was too strong for her. He tried to return and got gunned down. The second part of the story is about going back in time to her birth and discussing what kind of person she was and what brought them to the point where she was at Rose's Cantina. And in that song, he describes a little bit about the story of El Paso, the story in El Paso. In the third song, he describes many years later, many generations later, as he's flying over El Paso and all of a sudden getting a feeling of deja vu. He's never been there before, but he all of a sudden has the knowledge of the story that went on down in El Paso. So before we get into the video, I'd like to thank our sponsor, Firmu Optical, for jumping on board, becoming an affiliate partner with us. They have an affiliate link in the description box so that you can click that, go directly to their site, browse through hundreds of stylish and affordable frames that have your prescriptions popped right in as lenses. Their promotion code will allow you to save 50% off the frames that you choose. So if you know of anybody, or if you need glasses yourself, please give Firmu a shot. It's a great way to save a bundle of money for yourself. It's a great way to support the channel, and you get your prescription glasses directly delivered to your door. So without any further ado, let's get into the El Paso Trilogy by Marty Robbins.
Out in the West Texas town of El Paso, I fell in love with a Mexican girl. Nighttime would find me in Rose's Cantina. Music would play and Feleena would whirl. Blacker than night were the eyes of Feleena, wicked and evil while casting a spell. My love was deep for this Mexican maid. I was in love, but in vain I could tell. One night a wild young cowboy came in, wild as the West Texas wind.
As you can see in this little bit of an intro, he's fell in love with this young maiden at this cantina, and all of a sudden now a new person's involved, and there's not room enough for three in that relationship. So this is where the trouble involves, and this is where the climax starts happening to the outcome of this song.
Dashing and daring, a drink he was sharing with wicked Feleena, the girl that I love. So in anger I challenged his right for the love of this maiden. down with his hand for the gun that he wore. My challenge was answered in less than a heartbeat. The handsome young stranger lay dead on the floor. Just for a moment I stood there in silence, shocked for the foul evil deed I had done. Many thoughts raced through my mind as I stood there. I had but one chance, and that was to run. Out through the back door of roses I ran, out where the horses were tied.
Obviously, this is set up in the Wild West days where, challenge of a duel is and was, pretty much commonplace. Surprising the human race actually survived it. But he goes from killing a man to stealing a horse, which is a hangable offense. So now he's really in trouble.
I caught a good one, it looked like it could run. Up on his back and away I did ride, just as fast as I could from the West Texas town of El Paso out to the Badlands of New Mexico. Back in El Paso my life would be worthless. Everything's gone in life, nothing is left. It's been so long since I've seen the young maid. My love is stronger than my fear of death.
Sometimes love just makes you do crazy things. In this case here, his love for this maiden is so strong that he just wants to see her again regardless what happens to him. So, he jumps back on his horse again.
I saddled up and away I did go, riding alone in the dark. Maybe tomorrow a bullet will find me. Tonight nothing's worse than this pain in my heart. And at last here I am on the hill overlooking El Paso. I can see Rose's cantina below. My love is strong, it pushes me onward. Down off the hill to Feleena I go. Off to my right I see 5 mounted cowboys. Off to my left, right, a dozen more. Shouting and shooting, I can't let them catch me. I have to make it to Rose's back door. Something is dreadfully wrong, for I feel a deep burning pain in my soul. Though I am trying to stay in the saddle, I'm getting weary, unable to ride. But my love for Feleena is strong. I rise or I fall. Though I am weary, I can't stop to rest. I see the white puff of smoke from the rifle. I feel the bullet go deep in my chest. From out of nowhere, Feleena has found me, kissing my cheek as she kneels by my side. Cradled by 2 loving arms that I'll die for. One little kiss, then Feleena, goodbye.
Okay, he dies, and that's the end of the first section of this trifecta of this story. He goes on in the next section and explains what happened after he died, but also explains what Feleena is all about. So let's get into Feleena, the second part of the El Paso story.
Out in New Mexico, many long years ago, there in a shack on the desert one night in a storm, amid streaks of lightning and loud desert thunder, to a young Mexican couple a baby was born. Just as the baby cried, thunder and lightning died, moon gave its light to the world and the stars did the same. Mother and father both proud of the daughter that heaven had sent them. Feleena was this baby's name. When she was 17, bothered by crazy dreams, she ran away from the shack and left them to roam. Father and mother both asked one another, what made her run away? What made Feleena leave home?
This young girl having these wild dreams of, grandeur, of being, getting something more out of her life than just, the peasant's life in a shack. She's reaching out and just going out into the wild world on her own. And, to me, this story is just, the entire story is just incredible.
Tired of the desert nights, poverty, grief, and strife, she went her way late one night in the moon's golden beam. She didn't know where she'd go, but she'd get there, and she would find happiness if she would follow her dream. After she ran away, she went to Santa Fe, and in the year that she stayed there, she learned about life. In just a little while, she learned that with her smile, she could have a pretty clothes, she could be any man's wife. Rich men romanced her, they dined and they danced her. She understood men and she treated them all just the same. A form that was fine and rare, dark, shining, glossy hair, lovely to look at, Feleena was this woman's name. Restless in Santa Fe, she had to get away to any town where the lights had a much brighter glow. One cowboy mentioned the town of El Paso. They never stopped dancing and money like whiskey did flow. She bought a one-way ticket from Santa Fe, 3 days and nights on a stage with a rest now and then. She didn't mind that, she knew she would find that her new life would be more exciting than where she had been.
And when you rule all your decisions by the emotional decision of what's going to be exciting, that's basically where this lady's going. Is she's going directly where it's most exciting. And, sometimes that's a good thing, and a lot of times it's not.
The stage made its last stop up there on the mountaintop to let her see all of the lights at the foot of the hill. Her world was brighter, and deep down inside her, an uncontrolled beating, her young heart just wouldn't be still. She got a hotel, a room at the Lily Bell. Quickly she changed to a form-fitting black satin dress. Every man stopped to stare at this form fine and rare. Even the women remarked of the charm she possessed. Dancing and laughter was what she was after, and Rose's Cantina had lights with love in the gleam. That's what she hunted and that's what she wanted. Rose's was one place a nice girl would never be seen. It was the same way it was back in Santa Fe. Men would make fools of themselves at the thought of a romance. Rosa took heed of the place, was in need of this kind of excitement, so she paid Feleena to dance.
Back in those days, those kind of women would be known mostly as harlots, women of the night, whatever name you want to give them, 304s nowadays, where they would just, go from one man to the next to the next to the next just to get whatever they wanted off them.
A year passed, or maybe more, then through the swinging doors came a young cowboy, so tall and so handsomely dressed. This one was new in town, hadn't been seen around. He was so different, he wasn't like all of the rest. Feleena danced close to him, then threw a rose to him. Quickly he walked to her table, and there he sat down. And in a day or so, wherever folks would go, they'd see this young cowboy showing Feleena the town.
Here's where they enter in and mix in the this song here in El Paso to tie the two together. How he fell madly in love with this Feleena.
6 weeks he went with her, each minute spent with her, but he was insanely jealous of glances she'd give. Inside he was a-hurtin' from all of her flirtin'. That was her nature, and that was the way that she lived. She flirted one night, it started a gunfight, and after the smoke cleared away, on the floor lay a man. Feleena's young lover had shot down another, and he had to leave there, so out through the back door he ran. The next day at 5 o'clock she heard a rifle shot. Quickly she ran to the door that was facing the pass. She saw her cowboy, her wild riding cowboy. Low in the saddle, her cowboy was riding in fast. She ran to meet him, to kiss and to greet him. He saw her and motioned her back with a wave of his hand. Bullets were flying, Feleena was crying as she saw him fall from the saddle and into the sand.
And this is where, at the end of El Paso, she rushes to him to give him that kiss goodbye. I love the way he wrote this so that it ties in with the other song.
Feleena knelt near him to hold and to hear him when she felt the warm blood that flowed from the wound in his side. He raised to kiss her and she heard him whisper, "Never forget me, Feleena, it's over, goodbye." Quickly she grabbed for the 6-gun that he wore, and screaming in anger and placing the gun to her breast. "Bury us both deep and maybe we'll find peace." Then pulling the trigger she fell across the dead cowboy's chest. Out in El Paso, whenever the wind blows, if you listen closely at night, you'll hear in the wind. A woman is crying, it's not the wind sighing. Old timers tell you Feleena is calling for him. You'll hear them talking and you'll hear them walking. You'll hear them laugh and you'll look, but there's no one around. Don't be alarmed, there is really no harm there. It's only the young cowboy showing Feleena the town.
Alrighty. Now, in this song here, it shows, or he writes that Feleena gave her life to be with him in the afterlife. She just felt that, that absolute love, that this is the person that I would give my life for. And she laid her life down to be with him in the afterlife. Uh, Story of true love, true love. But, don't do that. So the third song is many years into the future from this Badlands incident, where the narrator is flying over El Paso in an airplane and getting a feeling, a sense of deja vu. And the story of this saga all of a sudden just comes over him. So let's get into the third part, which is El Paso City.
From 30,000 feet above the desert floor, I see it there below. City with a legend, the West Texas city of El Paso, where long ago I heard a song about a Texas cowboy and a girl, and a little place called Roses where he used to go and watch this beauty world.
There he's tying in the other songs with Rose's Cantina and, watching his lady whirl. And, he's all of a sudden getting this, sense of deja vu, like he's lived another life.
I don't recall who sang the song, but I recall the story that I heard. And as I look down on the city, I remember each and every word. The singer sang about a jealous cowboy and the way he used a gun to kill another cowboy. Then he had to leave El Paso on the run. El Paso City, why the Rio Grande? The cowboy lived and rode away, but love was strong, he couldn't stay. He rode back just to die in that El Paso sand. El Paso City, why the Rio Grande? I try not to let you cross my mind, but still I find there's such a mystery in the song that I don't understand.
He doesn't understand it because he's technically never, like in the narrator's side of it, the narrator himself has never been there before, but he feels like his spirit has been, giving him that sense of deja vu and knowing every single incident and thing that went on during that time. It's a ghastly feeling when you have something like this happen.
My mind is down there somewhere as I fly above the Badlands of New Mexico. I can't explain why I should know the very trail he rode back to El Paso. Can it be the man can disappear from life and live another time? And does the mystery deepen cause you think that you yourself lived in that other time?
And there he's talking about the premise of, past lives. And, some people do believe in past lives. Some people believe in reincarnation. Some people believe that your spirit jumps from one being to another. And this song here basically talks loosely about that possibility happening.
Somewhere in my deepest thoughts, familiar scenes and memories unfold. These wild and unexplained emotions that I've had so long, but I have never told. Like every time I fly up through the heavens and I see you there below, I get the feeling sometime in another world I lived in El Paso. El Paso City, by the Rio Grande. Could it be that I could be the cowboy in this mystery that died there in that desert sand so long ago? El Paso City, by the Rio Grande. The voice tells me to go and see. Another voice keeps telling me maybe death awaits me in El Paso. El Paso City.
Alrighty, final thoughts. Personally, like I knew the first and the third song. And up until this year when I didn't find out until that second song was even out or even written, until I started doing some real big research on this, this trilogy. And one of the reasons why I didn't know about that other one, the middle one, was because it was never released. It was never released as a single. El Paso City was, but the second one, Feleena, was not. And so that kind of, it took away from the story, but having that in that story kind of makes, for me, kind of adds to, the characters of the story, bringing them all together again. Finding out what the characters are like, gives backstory, gives forward shadowing for the third song, and just the whole idea of this was all about true love, and the two characters in the story had such deep love for each other that they couldn't go on without each other. So, that's what made him ride back down to Rose's Cantina, risking his life, and then her taking her own life because she couldn't live without him. That's, Romeo and Juliet 101, So let's have a conversation in the comment section below what you think of this trilogy, what you think of the story writing. Personally, I think the story writing was fantastic. What you think of Marty Robbins singing in this? I think you couldn't ask for a better way to sing this than what he presented. In the description box will be a link to all 3 videos that I used, so that you can go and enjoy them and share them, and as much as and as often as you wish. And I encourage you to do so. It's a great story. It gives me a little bit of inspiration that maybe there's that special someone that's out there for me, and they're just waiting for me to ride down the mountain. So, along with the videos in the description box will be the Firmu Optical affiliate link, so that if you know of anybody or if you need new prescription eyewear, click the link in the description box and browse through their hundreds of affordable, stylish frames. The promotion code will be there so that you can save that 50%. off your frames at checkout. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We love that around here. And show your appreciation to me, show your appreciation to the channel, show your appreciation to the music. And I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you very much for being on board with this channel. I really appreciate that. And until we get to the next one, folks, I wish you all peace, love, and happiness.